4 minutes after 8 o'clock, it's a brand new day. And it's a brand new day for Island Tea. And we are Island Tea. It's Jamster, and I got our girl Kay on the other side of the glass. Good morning. What's up?
Good morning, Jamster. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. We have some pretty weird weather the last few days, huh?
Boy, some serious high winds and then rain to go with it.
And overcast.
Oh, boy.
Which is good. Gives you, a respite from the heat,
But then the farmers are saying it's still not enough. So if it's going to come down, it needs to come down good.
Yeah.
And not
there's that.
Not shade people.
So the rain is more of an annoyance than...
Because for those persons that want to wash, guess what?
Yeah.
They cannot wash. They have to have a dryer. Well, they can wash, but when are they going to hang it out if they don't have a dryer?
Yeah.
So, it's pretty annoying.
And, there's that weird thing where, how sometimes you use fabric softener and then the clothes get wet and they have that weird smell. And then you have to rewash them.
And listen, that's why I don't like rain wetting my clothes. My mom would say the same thing because my mom is a washaholic, I swear.
But there's nothing like sun-dried clothes, though.
No.
It's like the best thing. I don't understand why people even have... Okay, I can understand having a dryer as a emergency measure, right? But, to be running up your electricity bill with a dryer when you have a dryer outside.
That's why the dryer should only be used in cases of
emergency.
Like now. So because it's current again, as you rightfully said. So let's use the outside and not the inside. So what's on your mind this morning?
Well,
before you continue, let me say good morning to the diaspora and the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I don't think I said good morning to the folks. I only said good morning to you, Jamson. So let me get that out.
Which is fine by me. So what's on your mind?
I thought you had something yesterday that we didn't touch.
So how was your day yesterday?
It was a good day.
It was good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't complain.
Okay.
Yours?
Yeah. It was good. It was good too, yeah.
Slept early?
For me, yes.
Oh boy. I don't even want to ask because I heard for me. So I don't even want to
actually
ask.
I went to bed about 11:40, which is early for me. Yeah. It's pretty early, yeah. I think.
Okay, fair enough.
There was a curious thing that if you've been following the Guyana budget, there was a curious thing that I think he cleaned it up since, but I remember last week the minister, I think his name is, he said something about in reference to the crime and the guns. He said
in Guyana?
Yeah, he said, and I thought it was, and I wanted to address it last week, but I never got around to it. It might have been, was it Monday? No, I think it was last week.
It may be.
Yeah, so he said something about just walk past the police station and put the gun in a bag and throw it over the fence. And the first thing that struck me was that is an incredibly reckless thing to say, because here's why. I was thinking about the safety considerations. What if someone does that? Maybe they didn't unload the gun and the gun goes off because of the fall and hits someone or damages something. So I just thought that was a kind of a reckless thing to say. What he should have said was the gun, get the ammunition and the gun, maybe tape the ammunition together separately. Tape them together in the bag, and then I'm serious.
I'm listening. It's just how you're being very particular in how you say it.
Yes, because guns, because I'm thinking in a fall the gun could have gone.
You throw it over back. Pow.
And I'm surprised no one. He's kind of cleaned it up since without saying. Like there was a news item this morning where he kind of expanded on that, but he was talking about other things like the money they're spending on fire appliances and police stations and stuff like that.
What he's trying to say is not worth
vehicles. No, he was just saying that he conceded that while crime has gone up, the Well, while violent crime has gone up, you're saying that crime itself overall has fallen. So, but I just that was something I had to mention since last week, and I kept forgetting. You know how sometimes we have stuff to talk about,
Yeah.
and we never get to them, and that always stuck with me. I said that's a very curious thing to say for, for someone like that.
Mhm.
You know, in the U.S., someone you could get sued for that.
Yes.
Because you could say they could say, well, you're telling people to throw a gun over the fence. What if the person isn't smart enough to know to unload the gun? Or maybe they unload the gun and they leave a bullet in the chamber, and maybe the safety is off, and maybe the gun hitting the ground makes the gun go off. All these things can happen. Yeah.
Certainly can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But Jamsa, you sound like you thought about this thing deep.
Well, no, it struck me as soon as he said it.
Uh,
And it just seemed kind of unseemly for someone who is someone who's a minister,
yeah. Maybe he didn't.
and
mean-
whose redoubt is security and and all that stuff. So
I think
yeah.
is it I saw a news article, but I'm not sure, so I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I think somebody shot up. I don't want some minister's house in Suriname. I don't think.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday, I think.
Which minister was it though?
They didn't say. I just saw the headline. I was like, you can't read everything. You can't read everything you see.
Did we ever get to the Caribbean Development Bank's president that was sent on administrative leave? We said we were gonna
I
talk.
don't think so. Well, I think we said we were going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff sometimes it bears talking about, but a lot of the times the people who can help us,
Mhm.
I wish that a lot of the times the people who can help us clear some of these
Could
things
be
up
present.
give us a call, and say, well,
That's not the case.
yeah. So apparently, all the ministers weighed in and weighed in his defense. So
Yes, I
so-
realized that.
I read some speculation somewhere that they were wondering why all of them were supporting him like that. I mean, as though that was a strange thing. But at the same time, I was getting the impression they were trying to say that it could be. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say anything, but I just thought the whole thing was strange. That the people who sent him home were, at least based on what I was reading, weren't in a position to be sending him home.
Exactly. They are below the governing body. It's like the board of directors didn't wait on the board of governors to send him home. And I'm wondering, are they allowed to do that? Is that the authority? And the fact that they seized both his tablet and his laptop. What are they looking for? Is he racketeering? What is he doing?
You know what my 3 words are, right?
No.
Follow the money. It's a follow the money situation.
Oh boy.
99% chance.
Oh boy.
Yeah, greed.
Well, we saw a little article circulating social media yesterday, where, and I googled it, but there wasn't much news. But there was something that says that I think 4 men went to Martinique from St. Lucia and committed a crime, and then the article said only 2 were caught. But then the video that I saw, we saw
had 3.
and they did vigilante justice. And I was asking my friend who was once a police officer in St. Lucia, what would happen to those persons that did vigilante justice before they handed them over to the gendarme. And he said he doesn't think the gendarme is going to do them anything.
Do who anything? The vigilantes?
The vigilantes. They'll just deal with the perpetrators after the vigilantes would have been done with them.
I thought it was interesting that the vigilantes thought they could video that and not get in trouble. But so you just cleared that up.
Yeah. Maybe they know what they were doing, and they're sending a strong message, because apparently he was telling me that this is something that they go over, they rob, they kill, they do all kind of things. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
St. Lucians?
I'm actually shocked. He said they either go over on the boat, it's $100 US return trip, or they go over on their fishing boats, because I guess they have that relations among themselves.
Boy, I'm letting my impression of St. Lucian women cloud my judgment.
But it's not the women that's doing that.
And that's what I'm saying. I always never think of St. Lucians as because the women
Oh.
are so,
Yeah.
yeah.
But so but I don't think. And does anybody do
So-
vigilante justice here?
Well, if they're smart, you don't video it.
But as I said, that video was to send a clear message to anybody else that intends to go over to St. Lucia and create any
Oh, well,
type of
was it
problem
Guadeloupe
or-
or Martinique?
It's Martinique.
No, you said go over to St. Lucia.
No,
So you
any
meant go-
St. Lucians
then
who
want
plan
to
to
go
go
over-
over
yeah.
to Martinique
Yeah,
and
you said
cause
go over to
any
St. Lucia, that's why.
okay, and
Mhm.
cause any
Mhm.
sorry about that, and cause any trouble, they will be in hot water. Yep.
And for those wondering, the video depicted, well, the men were naked, and in the first one, they were whipping the men, and the second one, man, they took a
Plastic bag,
burning plastic bag to his penis.
melted it all over his genitals. That's
mhm.
crazy, and he's there
Mhm.
flopping like a fish. But do
Mhm.
you see what they did to his head?
No, what?
They look like they cut out his hair. You see the
Oh,
bald
I
patches?
didn't
Yeah,
notice.
you needed to look at that.
Notice.
That's why I wonder when they were whipping the second one, they pulled his head. I was wondering if they were going to cut his
Mm,
hair off too. But
I'm sorry, right? But I'm sorry, I have no sympathy.
no, we can't.
Which
do that.
brings me to a story. There is a murderer who's going to be executed in Alabama tonight at 7 p.m. Right? Apparently, he was on death row. They tried to kill him by lethal injection a few years ago, and they couldn't find a vein. And then the time ran out, and yeah.
They couldn't find.
Yeah,
a
and
vein
he
in his breast.
suggested, and the condemned suggested death by nitrogen inhalation,
Mhm.
and the government implemented that,
Wow.
and he changed his mind, but it went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court signed off, and then go ahead and off that dude. Apparently he and some other guy they received $1,000 each to kill a pastor's wife. Let that sink in. $1,000, right? I'm not saying,
That doesn't even sound like rent money for somebody. That
that's
lives
what I'm saying.
in
So
the US.
you're taking
Rent
a
and
life.
bills and something else.
Yeah. So
They were under the influence, or they
No,
they
he was
used some
just-
form of drugs.
no.
So
I
the
don't
$1,000
think-
seemed like a lot to buy.
Maybe. Yeah. Now that you'd mentioned that, maybe. But
That's crazy.
But the guy, so tonight he's and this is the thing that bothers me about this story. I just find that some of these so-called first world countries, they have been a scourge on the rest of the planet. They're the planet's apex predators, right?
Yeah.
They think nothing of killing people, and here they are getting their balls tied in a knot because there's hand wringing about suppose the mask for the nitrogen administration, suppose the mask doesn't fit properly and
Okay.
and gas comes out into the room and I'm like, really? This guy killed someone and you're worried about how he's gonna die? The point is he's gonna be dead. Who cares
but
about him
comes
suffering?
out in the room. It
I'm
may
sorry,
come
that's
out.
just me.
Yeah, but what is the concern that they may come out into the room and affect the persons that are spectating, or what is it they're concerned about? Or maybe they're just concerned that they want him dead.
They're just saying they want the mask to fit properly, and suppose on paper nitrogen is just supposed to put you to sleep and then suffocate you, and it's supposed to be like a merciful death or whatever. And I'm like, why are these people wasting all this time worrying about how this murderer dies? You know what I mean?
That's why I want to know why
My
are they
thing is
concerned about the gas coming out? Is it going to affect the spectators?
If I was a
Is it
governor,
gonna-
I'd just walk up in there, put a bullet in his head, and say, "Okay, y'all charge me now."
Listen,
Because,
I look.
it's
Somebody showed me
ridiculous.
something that happened to the Bulgarian president some years back when somebody run up to him with a gun, but apparently they said it was a pepper spray gun with bullets that were only supposed to make noise, but the gun didn't. The gun jammed. The minister fought. I think it was the president. He fought, and then his bodyguards just tackled that guy to the ground. And I was like, boy, he's probably lost somewhere in jail, probably beaten every day. He's probably dead, and we don't
Yeah.
even know.
Yeah.
Because why would you make an attempt on somebody's life and the gun jammed? I said, look at that. It wasn't that person's day to go.
I'm looking for this.
You're looking for the article?
Yeah, I was looking for it because I just find it to be ridiculous. Because my thing is, I find that a lot of, people that have this kind of new age outlook on crime and punishment, they spend an inordinate amount of time worrying about the comfort of
the person.
I
I guess because it's still a human being, regardless of the crime.
Care.
Jams, I'm just being.
I
the
know,
devil's advocate.
but I'm just saying I do not care.
They're thinking it's a human being. We shouldn't treat this person like this, and I don't know what else to say.
Who cares? What? You're supposed to have a 5-star death? What? That's ridiculous.
The fact that they allow them to choose their last meal, etc., etc. Yeah.
I guess it's like dying at the Waldorf Astoria as opposed to dying at Burdock Beach or whatever, or a guest house down the road. What? We want the guy dead. He did something wrong. He killed. He took a life. Who cares whether he suffers? He swallows his tongue. I don't care.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry.
I guess a life for a life, but I still think people care is how he dies, and maybe they want him to die a dignified death. How about that one?
They should be efficient like the Russians and the Chinese. The Chinese, they give you a bullet to the back of the head, and then they build the family for the bullet. Seriously. They send the family a bill, an invoice for the bullet. I'm serious.
The family of the person that committed the crime, or
yes.
Okay. I was just making sure they didn't send it to.
You see, it's very efficient. Bullet to the head. Not worried about all this stuff about the hangman, and then the hangman has to go to jail for a day. Give me a break.
Somebody says on the Facebook page, but the person that snuffed out the human life didn't know that the person that snuffed out the human, they didn't know when they were doing the deed, I guess, that they were gonna die too. Good morning, Rusty. Good morning, Cleo. Good morning, Kathleen.
Okay, I'm doing a search here because I really want people to hear this. This is just ridiculous.
Jamster Rusty says you need to be seen, okay?
I need to be
seen. So you need to fix a camera where you are so Rusty can see Jamster.
Why do you want to see me? If it was a girl, like a St. Lucian girl or something, wanting to see me,
Jamster,
I'd be there.
Listen, I can't help you, I cannot help you.
Yeah, St. Lucian girls are very nice.
Okay, sir.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
You would know. Okay.
Okay,
I'm just playing.
While you look for that one, I'm going to read a story from Loop News that says Florida House passes a bill. I know it's Florida, but it can seep down here eventually.
No, come on. You don't have to
passes a
apologize.
bill to ban social media accounts for children. Florida children under the age of 16 would be banned from popular social media platform regardless of parent approval under a bill passed by the House on Wednesday. A measure that is the top priority for the chamber speaker. The bill doesn't list which platforms would be affected, but it targets any social media site that tracks users' activity, allows children to upload material and interact with others, and uses addictive features designed to cause excessive or compulsive use. The bill would not affect apps used for private messages between individuals. They're taking advantage of kids growing up. That's their business model. And why do they do it? To keep them hooked with the dopamine hits that the platform gives our children with every autoplay and every like. And with every autoplay, with every like, with every push notification, said bill sponsor Republican Representative Tyler Cyrus. The House voted 106 to 13 for the bill, with several Democrats joining Republicans in support. Proponents argued that social media exposes children to bullying and sexual predators and can lead to depression, suicide, and an addictive obsession. Democrat Representative Michelle Reiner said she posted her position on the bill on X on Tuesday, and she referred to her deceased mother. On the House floor Wednesday, she read some of the hateful comments she received from platform users, including people who posted, "Your mother sucks and your mom was stupid." That's so sad. I am 42 years old, and comments like these were a gut punch to me. But I was able to navigate, she said. Imagine what our babies have to deal with when they have their friends in school doing the same cyberbullying to them. Meta, the company that owns Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms, urged the House to seek another solution, such as requiring parental approval to download apps. It also wants the issue addressed on a federal level rather than a patchwork of different state laws. Many teens today leverage the internet and apps to responsibly gather information and learn about new opportunities, including part-time jobs, higher education, civic or church gatherings, and military service. Meta representative Calder Harville Charles wrote to the House Judiciary Committee, by banning teens under 16, Florida risks putting its young people at a disadvantage versus teens elsewhere. Other states have considered similar legislation, but most have not proposed a total ban. In Arkansas, a federal judge blocked enforcement of a law in August that required parental consent for minors to create new social media accounts. But Republicans House Speaker Paul Renner, who has made the issue his top priority, said the Florida bill should withstand constitutional scrutiny because it targets the addictive features of social media and not the content.
We had actually talked about that. I actually raised that as a topic a few weeks ago. Yeah, because I thought it was interesting, and I feel like parents. I feel like all parents need to be a little more judicious when it comes to monitoring what their kids consume. I mean, like pretty much every day. Like last night, my daughter came and said, "Can I watch TV?" I said, "No TV. Go and read a book. Don't you have homework?" Same thing with my son. No, I'm and I'm trying to monitor their screen time.
Okay.
And I feel like parents need to be a little more zealous about
TV time.
Yes, and
what about their tablets?
Yeah, that's screen time, all of that stuff.
Oh,
tablets, any device, the TV down to the tablet, down to the phone. A lot of people like to hand off the babysitting to the tablet, to the phone, to the TV, and I don't think that's right. You need to hand off some babysitting to reading, maybe some physical activity, like, I don't know, skip rope, bike riding, I don't know.
That's back in the day when we thought outside was cool. The kids don't go outside. But that's good that you are enforcing that.
No.
So you'll ensure that they get some exercise and they'll actually say, I had a childhood. Because the tablet isn't really a childhood. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, my daughter is 14 now, but she doesn't have a phone. And...
You make sure you enforce that.
She might think that the peer pressure is cruel and unusual punishment. But she'll live.
She will live.
I keep telling her, I said, all these things you think that are important now, you're going to realize in about 6 to 8 years.
They're not.
You're going to realize what we're trying to teach you is the correct path. Yeah. You know? School first. Forget all this stuff about makeup and all this fickle stuff that's going on the internet.
Yeah, at this age.
You know?
At 14, just enjoy your time.
Yeah.
I wasn't wearing makeup at 14. I started wearing makeup in my 20s.
I just use that as an example because I know, like,
but there are
people
kids that are wearing makeup.
watching how to do.
Look at the junior kids that are graduating from primary school. Some of their parents are getting them the basic face. So that's makeup.
What?
Yeah.
You mean here?
Yes.
You mean sending them to salons and so on?
Yeah, for their graduation. So the kids have the nice hairstyles and then they get a basic face.
I guess.
They don't get the overdone face. They get a basic face. So, and then for the little ones that are in the dance group that encourage makeup, some of them are wearing makeup since around 5. But just for the recital time, though, not every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I found the story. It's just 3 minutes. So just give people some background. And here we go. It's from CNN.
Using nitrogen gas for the very first time after the US Supreme Court declined to halt his execution. Kenneth Smith is on death row for his part in the 1988 murder for hire of a woman on the orders of her husband. He would be the first inmate put to death by nitrogen hypoxia, a method that's unprecedented and untested. CNN's Isabel Rosales has the details.
Kenneth Smith's lawyers argue that this is essentially cruel and unusual punishment, a violation of his Eighth Amendment right, and that this amounts to torture, something that the UN has also criticized. The attorneys arguing that Smith is being used as a test subject for a never-before-used form of execution. And it's about to be used on someone who actually survived an execution 2 years ago. Executioners trying for 4 hours to find his veins for a lethal injection, and then they had to stop because the time ran out on the death warrant. Well, Smith originally did ask for the execution method to be nitrogen gas, but then he reversed course after he got a hold of the state's proposal, how this would undergo. And the biggest sticking point is this mask that's going to be put on him, pumping that nitrogen gas. The worries here, according to court documents, is that he might vomit inside of that mask and end up choking on that, which they argue would lead to excessive pain instead of dying from the actual nitrogen gas. Now, I spoke with Reverend Jeff Hood, who is a spiritual advisor of Smith, and he has 5 children. He says he is worried about his own safety. He had to sign a waiver indicating that he understood the harm in being in the execution chamber with Smith, and he's worried about gas getting out. He had this to say about a safety mechanism that he checked out in person, an O2 monitor that will sound the alarm if there's hazardous gas in the air. Listen.
I was even told today, Isabel, that if the oxygen monitors go off, they have no sort of requirement that they evacuate the room. So what we're talking about is people who have put these monitors in place and basically told me today that they have no plan on how to follow them. I don't think that it's alarmist to say that this is a group of people who have consistently failed to carry out executions, and I believe that they are on a fast track to fail again.
Reverend Hood tells me he is scheduled to go inside the execution chamber and be there with Smith sometime after 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Isabel Rosales, CNN, Atmore, Alabama.
Out of the 27 states with the death penalty on the books, only Alabama, Oklahoma and Mississippi have approved the use of nitrogen gas to carry out the sentences. Alabama has even outlined a protocol to use it. In theory, proponents say giving someone 100% nitrogen to breathe would deprive the body of oxygen and cause a painless death. However, some fear that the attempt could go awry when using it to carry out a death sentence on an inmate.
So yeah, that's CNN on that story. Now, why does a death penalty need to have? I don't understand. Why does a death penalty
But you see
death warrant need to have a time limit? I don't understand.
I guess for it to be humane. As I said, although they
did all of that thought go into the crime? Did all that thought about? I mean, did they even have any? There wouldn't have been a crime in the first place, or rather, there wouldn't have been a death in the first place if all of that consideration had occurred on the path of the criminal.
But did I hear the story correct? The pastor paid them to do it. Is that what I heard?
You mean to do the check?
The criminal? No. The criminals, did he pay them to kill his wife? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, not that pastor though.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, he paid. The pastor paid him and some other guy money to kill his wife.
Oh boy.
$1,000 each.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have a problem. I mean, all of that hand wringing about oxygen monitor, really? That guy needs to be dead. All of that other stuff is unimportant.
No.
What are we doing? Deluxe deaths now?
They didn't care that woman probably suffocated on her blood and went through all that torture and died that way. But as I said, because it's, I don't know what else to say.
And
because her death was painful, I'm sure.
Yeah, it definitely was.
But, I guess the laws that are on the books.
Yeah. Okay, I see you here saying the video. No, what happened was when I was playing I turned the camera off.
Okay,
But
okay.
the streaming still.
Okay.
It's just streaming the
Okay.
artwork.
All right.
Yeah, so they're hearing everything.
Okay,
And
just
it
making sure.
gives you time to rest your TV face,
TV face?
Meaning, you don't have to, you know what I mean?
You mean if I have a reaction like,
You don't have to have your TV face on
oh, Lord.
for the whole 3 minutes,
Oh, Lord.
And like you can yawn and take a big swig of tea, stuff like that.
See, that's the thing. I have no tea today. None whatsoever.
Oh, you have no tea?
Mm-mm.
What do you
No.
do? Oh, nothing. Okay.
Nothing. Nada, nothing.
Well, I have tea today.
I made sure I took care of my throat before I came to work because, boy, I don't know why it's been giving me so much licks. So I did my hot water,
Yeah,
my
me too.
warm water and salt. Because I know whatever is going around, it's not going to catch me again. Because I fought that from last September until maybe the ending of December.
Okay, I want to go through. There's a couple others. There's always something that we never get to. Let me see. I see you sent the story about the former orphanage founder in Haiti, facing charges for sexually abusing minors.
But he said he didn't do that.
Well, it's funny because I've heard there were other stories of that before. A lot of these missionaries, they go to Haiti under the pretense that they're going to help.
They take advantage of the persons.
They take advantage of the poverty and so on.
That's not nice.
Yeah, definitely not nice. So there was this article. It is.
You're on the same article, right?
No, I mean I
Or
was.
you're looking for something else?
Well, the one about the breakfast stuff.
Oh.
It's 8:36, so I thought I sent this yesterday. Except, oh boy, I sent it and now it's saying page not found. So
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I
Let me see
clicked
if
it.
I can find it.
oh
Yeah, page not found. Same
yeah,
thing.
I
have a
don't know
oops.
what's going on.
I have a oops. So I'll read this one. This one
Mhm.
is from Barbados Parliament votes to remove Deputy Speaker facing sex-related charges.
Boy,
No, these gentlemen have to be careful out here, especially when they know they have certain positions, whether it's true or not. So, Bridgetown, Barbados, CMC, Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley has defended the decision to remove Neil Rao as Deputy Speaker of Parliament, saying it will allow him to deal with a matter he faces before the High Court. Last September, Magistrate Deidre McKenna ordered that Rao stand trial before the High Court on the charge that he had sexual intercourse with a woman on September the 18th, 2022 without her consent or was reckless to whether she consented. The ruling Barbados Labour Party, the BLP, which controls all 30 seats in the parliament, on Tuesday voted to remove Rao from his post after Deputy Prime Minister and leader of government business Santia Bradshaw moved a motion to rescind his appointment. Prime Minister Mottley said that the decision removes Parliament from being embroiled in the private issues of a member. And quote, in this case, there is no consideration whatsoever of anything other than the Deputy Presiding Officer of the Parliament of Barbados being involved in a private matter. It is a judgment of all of us that he be allowed the time to allow himself to deal with this matter and indeed to be able to ensure that his assertion of innocence is capable of being pursued, said Prime Minister Mottley, insisting that Rao will remain as a parliamentary representative for the St. Michael Northwest constituency. By the same token, while this is going on and he is given all the space to do that, we have to ensure that the public business of the Parliament of Barbados, and by extension, as an arm of the government of Barbados, can continue without, as I said, being embroiled in the private issue of a particular member, she said. Motley also pointed out that this is the third instance where a Deputy Speaker of the House has faced legal issue. She said there is no issue of his representation as a parliamentarian, adding, and quote, that is a member for the people of St. Michael Northwest that was settled. And indeed, this is not an issue. And indeed, that is not an issue in this matter at all, Motley added. Wow.
These people have no behavior. These politicians. You remember last year there was this rash of stories about a Guyanese minister who was messing with like minors or something. And had to resign. Yeah, had to resign.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
We see one person get in that trouble. And all of us still think we could do it and get away with it.
I know. Let's take a call.
Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Okay. Hopefully they'll call back. Okay, here's what we're gonna. Let's take a quick break. It's 8:40. Let's take a quick break, and we shall come back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Watch the trail of the insect stop when you spread a web up. Flying, crawling, insects are falling when you spread a web up. Nothing comes close to Bob. Bob, the number one brand, serious get Bob.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Bless the ghetto youth them through stress and pain. No matter.
And we are back. It's 8:41. Yeah. So, what were we saying now? Yeah, we had someone calling.
Caller, yeah.
So, caller, hope you'll call back. I did want to talk about I know you say you don't follow movies, but a lot of people do.
The Oscars.
I want to talk about the Oscars and some of the controversy about the fact that Barbie was not nominated for Best Movie, and Greta Gerwig, the director, also was not nominated for Best Director. Caller, go right ahead.
Morning, guys.
Hey, morning.
Good morning, Carl.
And good morning to listeners home and abroad. Carl Brown here. Guys, it's real jokey. I mean, around the world with these death penalties. People go out and kill a number of persons or kill an individual. And you tell me for almost 40 years this guy is on death row? I mean, what ridiculousness is that? Since 1988, this incident happened here. And this is almost 40 years, and he's still hanging around eating our tax, eating people tax dollars.
Oh boy.
He should have been dead the first month.
Thank you, Carl. I don't know what all this.
Well, Carl, they have to.
All this wrangling, and if I was the judge, I would have ordered his death sentence. I mean, 1 hour after he been found guilty and sentenced to death.
Well, he had a chance to appeal and all these other things, so I guess that's why he is still around. And then when they tried to kill him, they couldn't find a vein, the time ran out. As Jamso was saying, he doesn't understand why there's a time when it comes to an execution.
Give the man a cube or thing, take the man out in the yard, done with the matter right away. A few seconds.
Oh boy, you say give him a Cuba thing?
Yeah, give him a Cuba death sentence, take him out in the yard.
Okay.
And the Spanish language, aim fire.
That's it. Yeah.
Looks like we have Rusty on the line.
Yeah, I'll hold on.
Okay, guys, before I go, considering that thing in Barbados, I am very shocked and amazed from all the accolades we around here giving Mayor Motley. And Mayor Motley is supporting this guy because he's deputy speaker, and this is the
This is third.
My Lord.
I know.
It's just the other day I hear them giving Mia Motley so much accolades and how she's this for the Caribbean and a good representative and all kind of thing. And she is backing up and supporting all this slackness.
No, but she allowed him to be excused from Parliament, Carl, to go and deal with his matter, but she says he's still the representative for. So is that the issue you have, that he's still a representative for that area?
Rubbish and nonsense.
Okay, understood.
Rubbish and nonsense. He should have been suspended or fired pending the outcome of his matter.
Okay, fair
He
enough.
should not be getting the taxpayers' dollars. I mean, he being paid, and he's just relieved to deal with his matter because he or she is a private matter. That is not a private matter. That is a federal crime.
Especially with a public servant, yeah.
And then to do with a public servant, I am shocked. Anyway, you ain't supposed to be shocked and amazed because, I mean, as we all look say, follow the money.
You and Jams on the same page. All right.
Yeah.
Something local.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
But clearly, even the good ones have their faults, right?
Yep.
Good ones, as in Mia Motley. You know.
Yep.
And trust me, I don't see many other good ones around here in the Caribbean, honestly.
Oh,
St. Kitts Nevis, I don't know.
We haven't had any scandal
Doesn't
of
mean
that magnitude for a while.
yeah.
I'm not.
Doesn't mean they're good though.
Oh boy.
They're just good at covering their tracks. That's all.
All right.
And we can't prove anything yet.
Rusty,
go ahead.
Hey man, listen, I'm here killing myself with laugh because when you guys were talking about the story and the guy and the killing and stuff, I keep saying Cal Brown. Where's Cal Brown? I know Cal Brown will come and shot because Cal Brown would have just like he said.
Carry him outside.
I know he would do exactly that. Kill them immediately. I am one who don't believe in state murder. I really don't believe in it.
Okay.
If somebody kills somebody, you can put them away for life. I believe that. That's enough torture for them. I think killing them is the easiest way out, in my opinion. And so, what you guys were there talking about this thing, I hear you guys talking about what kind of murder. And none is good. None.
Okay.
Not even. I mean, even St. Kitts is terrible. We actually hang you. They don't even know who hanging them. Some man go pull the noose and that's it. I don't believe in murder.
But when is the last
my
time
opinion,
someone was
I don't believe in murder.
hung in St. Kitts, Rusty?
Somebody who have killed somebody. I don't believe that's the way to go about it. I mean, we've seen it. There's James, I don't remember. There's a show. The churches are running some back in the 70s, and it was a hanging stuff and something with Jesus and whatever. And up to now, I have not seen that picture because it was so scary. Just talking about hanging somebody or killing Jesus Christ on a cross. I don't believe in them kind of stuff. I really don't. It shouldn't have happened, and it shouldn't continue to happen. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
All right, guys.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, Rusty. Thanks.
I mean, man. Clearly, there are going to be a lot of opinions on this, but I feel like why do you need to have a put 12 hours. Put a 12-hour limit on the death round if it must have a thing. 12 hours? You can't find a vein in 12 hours? Really? You can't find a vein in 4 hours? I mean...
Maybe the man did something to hide all his veins. I don't know what he did, but...
And I don't understand. Why can't you have a law that says for certain crimes there's no chance for appeal?
This story about this gentleman makes me think about Venom. You remember the movie Venom?
Yeah.
You remember when they put this guy in the death chamber and...
What's his name? You mean played by Woody Harrelson?
Yes.
Yeah.
and because he bit Venom,
yeah,
something went into him, and he lived for as long as he could. Oh boy, maybe I'm just wondering we don't have a movie right there.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like
on that mask and he becomes somebody else.
I feel like you have to approach crime and punishment in a novel way. Why have a law that says no appeal? They off you the same week. Why are you sitting around eating using up taxpayers' money eating for decades? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And all this pearl clutching about, oh, he might vomit into the man. Who cares?
Get a new one, right?
No, kill him.
No, I'm just saying get a new mask. You're rough. You're just ready to kill him.
I just don't get it. I really wish they had all that. I wish they had all that consideration and mercy when they were enslaving people for hundreds of years and doing all kinds of crazy stuff to us.
Oh boy!
You know?
So those need their trial now. Well, they're all dead. Let's hope.
Talk about overcorrection, huh? Hey, go ahead.
Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T.
Hello.
Guys, execution is the best and most quickest way. There is no debate, no discussion, nothing. Right? You put some people in a glass case, the family members and friends who want to watch, in a box to watch, and you take the person down outside in the yard, 6 guys come out, done away with him. You take him up, throw him in a box, and you find a hole to put him in. There's nothing, there's no other course.
Even the firing.
Saying, put them in prison to feed them for another 40, 50, 60 years. You crazy?
This is ridiculous to me.
No. Take that guy out the same time he's found guilty and sentenced to death.
Take him out.
You give him a half an hour or hour. You call up the pastor and you call up the 6 shooters.
No.
Get rid of
Hey, no last meal even. What last meal?
No last meal.
What last meal? Give me a break.
Oh boy.
And you don't put no black thing on a white cloth over the head. Let them see, just like how the person was able to watch them and beg for their life.
Yes.
Our person, let him or her see who is killing them.
Wow.
Okay,
execution style, quick and fast, and done with that.
Okay. Another call. Caller, go right ahead. Sorry, Carl. I'm just trying to not lose the call.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
You're sounding really bloodthirsty this morning, man.
Just me. Yeah. Kortensia
you
is
and Carl. You and Carl. Yeah. No, man. You in a civilized world, you don't do things that way.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Okay.
No, you don't.
How about being practical?
What's practical about it?
Efficient. I don't even believe in
fire.
I don't even believe in firing squads. One guy, bam, you're dead.
Do you believe in due process?
Yeah, I believe in due process. But what I'm saying, as long as
do you know that even with jury trials and appeals and all those things, people can be innocent and be found guilty?
Yes.
No,
you know that has happened, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what I didn't say, what I left unsaid was, what I meant was, as long as the person has been proven to be guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt, right?
But they have been in cases, and yet.
Yes, but I'm not talking about those cases. Obviously, I'm talking about the cases where clearly the person is guilty.
Did it?
That's what I'm saying. Obviously, I'm not talking about.
There have been all those safeguards before, and innocent people, still are put to death.
Yeah, but you're missing my point. What I'm saying, you're gonna have that segment of cases where the person is guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. So if 100 people saw this person kill this person, where does innocence come in there? That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the cases where we know beyond a shadow of a doubt the person is guility.
Well,
So clearly, I mean,
there you still have to prove.
I mean,
yes, 100. What if it's one person or 2 persons who saw them kill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those could be wrong too.
Yeah, but this guy knows he was guilty. He's the one who suggested death by nitrogen.
Since they couldn't find a vein.
Right. So he clearly knew he was guilty.
Would you prefer if they gave him something to let him commit suicide? Since he himself knows he's guilty, commit suicide rather than the state kill him?
No. Well, yeah, that could work too. That's efficient
But
too.
he may not. He may not take it.
He may not take it.
He may not take it, Mr. McMahon.
Good
Now that
point.
he's gonna end his life, he's not gonna take it.
Good point.
Because the fact that now he's backpedaling and saying he doesn't want the what is it, nitrogen?
Yeah.
He doesn't want the nitrogen again. He can't commit suicide. He isn't someone to commit suicide.
The death penalty is just playing around. It's just revenge, pure and simple.
So you don't think
if it's revenge you want, well, come straight out and say it.
you don't think
Don't,
you don't think the Bible allows for it, where it says Caesar's things unto Caesar, and also an eye for an eye and tooth for tooth? I mean,
but the Bible also says turn the other cheek.
yeah, but that's different. So you should just let people take advantage of you.
Can't have it. You can't
So
have
so
it.
we may as well not have laws then.
Yeah, because
No. If you put away, as Rusty suggested, even putting away somebody for life is torturous.
You think?
Okay, but at least you remove the threat from society.
But why do we have to feed them?
And you have punishment. No, you want
Oh
to start
boy.
Huh? No, I'm talking about the really terrible crimes like murder and so on. I just feel
there's too much double standards in this thing.
it sounds like
it's like okay, you're saying that somebody take a grenade and throw it in a crowded restaurant and kill people, innocent people. Okay, that's clearly terrorist activity. But you drop a bomb from an F-16 or whatever equipment they got on a civilian population with the aim of killing terrorists that you don't know for sure exist. And that's not terrorism. It's double standard.
No, but we're not talking about those. We're not talking about those kinds of scenarios. We're talking about a case where a guy was paid $1,000 to kill someone's wife. The end. And quick cases that generally live in that neighborhood. I'm not talking about war.
Yeah,
we can have the discussion about war and how dodgy the implications are with killing people in war. I understand that.
That's so convenient. But remember the crime. Remember the crime is that he killed someone. Okay, and isn't when the state kills one, when the state does it, kill someone, somehow it's not seen as taking a life. It's seen as justifiably taking a life.
Yep.
You don't see the contradiction there?
No.
A life for a life. No.
So you sounds like, okay. Let me ask you a question. Suppose Hitler had been caught alive, and say he got tried at Nuremberg and all that.
Tried? He needed to be tried?
No, I mean they probably would have.
Because that's wasting. I know the due process, but that's wasting time.
So what would you have wanted for Hitler, for example?
Put him away for life.
Wait, come on, man.
He didn't put them people away for life.
Come on,
Mr.
man.
McMahon, I have to go. I have to go dialect. He did not put those people away for life.
He's being punished.
Oh.
There's no way he can do such crimes again. What? That's what I'm asking.
You can't be serious.
Is it revenge, or are you actually trying to punish somebody?
Revenge? What's wrong with revenge?
Revenge and punishment,
revenge is
maybe.
okay.
Yes.
But Jamster, as soon as you say it's all about revenge, you're talking about an uncivilized society.
It's just no.
You're justifying every gang person every gang who decides to take revenge on another one.
No. Not at all, Mr.
Well,
McMahon.
I'm saying it's revenge, but I'm sure.
No,
I'm sure
not
the
like
legal.
that, Mr. McMahon.
I'm sure the legal.
But that's revenge, isn't it?
That's how revenge goes.
It's
But
punishment.
we're saying
It's punishment.
we're not talking about that because that's just
Right.
that's just
Punishment.
He needs to be punished.
I agree that they should be punished. And
In
I'm
my
saying
mind, it's revenge
that
as well, but it's punishment as well.
Punishment. But punishment, at least when you put them away for life, that's punishment as well.
But what if they go in there for
Could you
life
imagine-
and they go to
could you
school
imagine-
and they do
I
all
would
kind
have
of things
much-
to keep them
I would have
themselves
much
occupied?
I would have much preferred Hitler rot in jail
Wow.
as opposed to, what did it, take his own life or something?
Yeah.
Right?
Supposedly, yeah.
You know, and obviously he couldn't bear the thought of being caught alive, so he took his own life.
Exactly.
Right. So in a sense, I mean, to use in a queer way, it's humane. It's being humane to him.
Okay.
You know, when he takes his own life. But if you just put him in front of firing squad or some other kind of thing, that's too quick. That's too easy, don't you think? Since it's revenge you're after.
Oh boy. So him rotting
No,
longer is better revenge.
The long and short of it, is, right? Killing people in this day and age is uncivilized.
Okay.
There are other ways to
Tell that to the
remove
criminals.
threat from society.
Why is it you only have this admonition for the government to administer the law, but you don't seem to have that for the criminals? It's uncivilized. You need to say that to the criminals too. Keep the same energy.
Ran down to Caesar, etc. You know, the criminals do what the criminals do. The government is supposed to show example and keep us safe.
So you're saying just throw up your hands and don't admonish the criminals? Perhaps,
No.
Perhaps.
I clearly said that I'm all for punishment.
But
I am not for the death penalty. That is what I'm against.
Okay.
Right? Because you know, you'll probably end up on a slippery slope because you know there's studies that say that really and truly the death penalty does not deter murderers.
Ira,
right?
I have to take another call, but
so
congratulations.
you're in a slippery slope.
Congratulations. Another terrible take on Thursday.
Next thing you're going to want is torture. Okay? And I ain't going there with you.
Oh, the caller has dropped out. But congratulations again. You are maintaining the great tradition of giving us terrible takes on a Thursday.
Rusty say he's with Mr. McMahon.
Okay.
Life in prison.
So I have to add Rusty to the list of people with terrible ideas. Okay. Caller, go right ahead.
Hey, gangster, how are you, man?
Hey, what's up? I'm cool.
Huh?
Hey, what's up?
How are you, man?
I'm good.
And the lady inside the studio, there with you.
Good morning. Could you turn your radio down a bit?
Okay. Yeah, well, gangster.
Yeah.
You know why these youths around here gonna kill? I disagree with everything my man said a while ago, you know. It's like what he's saying, right? You people could kill, but you should have a little sympathy with them. I don't agree with that to me.
I agree.
That's why we shouldn't be having no killing. We should be all these killing are going on around here, right? There should be more. These youth life should be taken. They should be living amongst people. Because they'll keep harassing people.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to share sympathy with the youth, right? Remember, he had no more than the person he killed, you know, the victim.
Yes.
Huh? Hello?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're listening
listening.
to you. Yeah.
So, I mean, is that what you're saying? We must share sympathy with the murderers, them?
I'm absolutely.
But we got to kill the
Yes,
youth, them. They need killing too.
I'm with you.
Many murderers around these things is dead, maybe.
I mean, I know we're sounding bloodthirsty now, but I don't care. I'm a practical man.
He said we should share sympathy with them, you know.
No, I agree.
Man, this ain't a joke. This ain't a too much killing going on in a small country like Singles and Nevis dead. We shouldn't be laughing for it.
Yep.
I agree.
You should don't cut off with what he's saying too, because he's speaking rubbish. I'm talking about you in front of death penalty, but the youth them need killing. The life should be taken. This happening too often. Look here, I can remember he got youth killed, right? Mother and son. Sometime, when it was, last year by Singles. When we had up with the amount of, X amount of killing, sometime last year there.
Yes.
They say mother see the youth, when the fellow kill his son, and he kill the mother too. So you say these youth should be living around people.
Yeah, I agree.
They should be murdering, they should be hanging, they should be living amongst people. The government need to bring back hanging. I really longing to see him come back there. They need to hang the youths them. It's a shame to see a small country like St. Kitts, we have so many killing.
Maybe not even hanging. Maybe
hanging the youths them. When they kill, hang them the next day.
a bullet to the back of the head.
Oh boy.
Send a strong warning to them.
I'm sorry.
No man, he's speaking rubbish, man. Like you want to share sympathy with the murderers them. No man, they need to kill you with them dead.
I agree. I guess we're uncivilized, but sorry.
Yeah, man, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree
so
either.
Get a lifetime in jail, well.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you get a lifetime, you get a 1 square meal and let them say that till they're dead then. Even 1 square meal out then. You don't get them 3 square meal.
True.
No, this is not a joke. I serious about
No, I agree. Listen, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. I am, you know.
Get them 1 square meal, not 3.
I think
that's a form of punishment too.
Yeah, I think we've taken on
more people now. Okay, for example, you remember 1996? They hanged 9 people one time in Trinidad.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I bet you to hang all who in there then. So not strong one into the way skillers them out there. So hang all who in prison right now then.
I agree. Let's go to another caller. Caller, go right ahead. So it's 5 minutes after.
Hello. Good morning, man. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's
Good,
up?
Thanks. What about you?
Okay, well, let me just put in my 2 pence real quick. The DPP, right? He made some comments the other day, and you know, he said that he don't. The people are calling out for stiffer penalties, right? And then he said that he don't believe that stiffer penalties is going to deter the criminals. You know what I mean? But you know, I don't really agree with him with that either. You know what I'm saying? Jamaica went with stiffer penalties. Guyana, I think, is doing it right now. Because I heard a clip about, you know, Guyana. They're passing stiffer penalties there as well. St. Kitts Nevis need to follow that trend. You know, there's too much murders going on in St. Kitts and Nevis for such a small place. You know what I mean? And the man is ignoring this stuff. But wait until this get to the level like Jamaica, and the whole community gonna be terrorized. You know, the man need to concentrate on solving crimes. You know, the man is murdering people and nobody's getting, the crimes is not getting solved. The man need to get more tougher on this situation here. You know, you kill a man, kill the man back. I don't give a shit. Excuse my language, man. The man need to maybe get murdered just like how they pick up a gun and kill that man. The man need to get death by firing squad, shoot that man down too. You know what I mean? The place is too small for so much murders, man. The youths, them in St. Kitts Nevis, the man got to put down their guns, man. The government and everybody got to get tough on these criminals, man. It's going to get out of hand now. I'm telling you all right now, it's going to get out of hand, and then the whole nation going to be terrorized. Watch and you see if that man don't get tough. You know, we're too naive as a country, man. The attitude and the mentality of the people got to change, man. But, you know, I got a lot to say, man, but, you know, I'll leave it here for now.
Okay.
But, you know, I'll call back to you something. Thanks.
Okay, great. There was another call. There was another call coming
Thank
in
you,
there.
caller.
Oh, here we go. 907. Caller, go right ahead.
Good morning, Island. Good morning. Good
Hey, what's
morning,
up?
Jamster. Good
Hey, what's
morning,
up?
good day, Didier.
Morning.
The great MP.
Let me tell you something, right? If the country got the law that if you kill a man, that is the law, and you can't take him to the courts, and the jury then bring him guilty to hang or to whatever they're gonna give him. That's the law. If a government minister kill a man, he's supposed to get the same punishment.
Yep.
If you hold up in rank and you kill a man, you're supposed to get the same punishment. So no government have nothing to do with is the law. Is the law the country? I want to say, Mr. McMahon, is the law the country? If the country pass the law. And if a man kill a man, boy, he's supposed to get killed too. I can't understand Mr. McMahon's ignorance. How you Mr. McMahon, you got 2 sons. And a man come in your house, kill the 2 sons. Kill the 2 sons. But you're going to feel pleased that a man out there eating taxpayers' money in prison for life. Anyway,
I mean,
have a wonderful day.
yeah, I mean,
You too. Thanks for your contribution.
If he's going to excuse Hitler, I mean, all bets are off. Everybody else is just going to get away. Everybody else is a Boy Scout compared to...
Fair game.
Well, everybody else except King
Rusty
Leopold of
says-
Belgium. But
We need to address the issue of why the murders are happening and deal with it, and not just decide because somebody killed that they should be killed. And he says the murder rates are going up annually, and he basically said the country is not addressing the problem.
We have another call. Caller, go ahead.
What are we going to do about the murderers who don't shed blood?
The murderers who don't?
Who don't shed blood?
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Well, a question. The murderers who do not shed blood.
It's still
What are we going to do?
it's still murder though, isn't it?
With those murderers?
It's still murder, so as far as I say, it's still murder. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, and I guess what you're trying to say, that's a poetic way of saying the murderers who are not so obvious. So
Exactly.
yes.
What are we going to do about them?
Yes.
It is murder same way.
Yeah.
We are just focusing on bloodletting murderers. What about the murderers who do not shed blood? We need to pay attention to that too.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah. And I have a problem with to what the DPP said about expressing misgivings about deterrence being boosted by harsher sentences. What if parents decided they weren't gonna discipline us when we were kids?
Yeah.
Just we do everything and it doesn't make, so we should. I mean, that makes no sense to me.
That would have been a chaotic society.
Crime and punishment, offense and punishment, misdemeanor and punishment. I don't care about. Don't tell me anything about deterrence and all that stuff. Someone does something, they have to pay. Then of course, obviously when we were kids, I would do stuff. I get licks. I might do it again. I get licks again. But at some point, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm getting tired of this.
Yes,
let me do something. I might come up with a smarter way to do the same thing, right?
And not get licked.
Right. So clearly the punishment is having an effect, right? Because either I'm gonna stop doing what it was I was doing, or I'm gonna find a more covert way to do it, right? So I don't agree with this thing about we shouldn't have harsher laws because it doesn't make any sense, or we shouldn't have the death penalty because it doesn't deter people from killing. Of course, it's not going to. Well, you can't say that just because murders continue that it doesn't deter. People very well might not know about the offense, and in the heat of the moment, people do what they have to do.
Yep.
They might not be thinking about. I don't think people are necessarily thinking about that stuff in the heat of the moment, Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jamster, you said something a while ago about punishment, about what if your parents didn't discipline you.
Yeah.
And if you realize that is the problem we have today, kids are no longer disciplined. They are sparing the rod and they're spoiling the child.
That's actually a good point. Yep. That's a very good point.
That is why we have so much things today. The kids are not being disciplined because, number one, people made laws you can't discipline your child, because if you discipline your child, it's called abuse. I'm not saying abuse your kids, but the thing is, you don't discipline them anymore. Yeah. You let them, you give them a nice pep talk. Don't do that, sweetheart. Don't do that. And then you let them go. And that is the problem why we have these menace today, because they're not disciplined. Yep. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. She makes a good point.
Yep, and you were just saying that, because if we weren't disciplined, imagine what type of adults us two would have been.
Exactly.
Yep.
And this idea that I shouldn't, don't beat them or don't punish them because
time out.
Ridiculous. Caller, go right ahead.
Just one other quick intervention. You realize that even when you have things like firing squad, it's usually a squad. They don't take one person and just put a bullet in his head like somebody suggested. Okay? Yes, they want to make sure that the person dies, But at the same time, they don't want the guilt put on whose bullet essentially killed him, right? And it's the same thing even when we do hanging. I think they actually charge the hangman with something, okay? Because in the final analysis, we know, we have a gut feeling that what we're doing, somehow isn't exactly right. And so we put in all these little quirks to take the guilt off of ourselves. Even the state does it, okay? And that should say something, that there's something fundamentally wrong in taking somebody's life willfully, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's also intervention.
Okay. Call Rusty, go ahead. Hey.
Yeah. I just want to make a point. I just want to make a true story. It's gonna be short. I started teaching in 1984, 85. Somewhere around there, I started teaching at junior high school. Started teaching metalwork. And I used to beat the kids with piece of metal rod, and that kind of stuff to keep them quiet, because these were like trace students. And the strange thing was, where I used to live in Back Street, next to Jenkins Field at home. When I'm going up the road, I'm seeing the same kids walking and going to the cemetery to cut cane in the blue uniform as jailbirds. You know they used to do that.
Yeah.
Then I went to Jamaica to study, to teach, and to learn metalwork and teach metalwork. So I became a general teacher and a metalwork teacher at once. I came back home. I never did hit another student, not another student. And I did what the young lady said before. I talked to them, seriously talked to them and stuff. And then I could tell you, there are about 10 people in the police station right now working as police officers who came to my teaching. You don't have to beat anybody. Jamster, the kind of blows we used to get in boys' school. They had a lady there, Miss Frederick. She used to beat us with fan belt. Come on, Jamster. You could not be
Miss
happy with
Frederick?
that.
No, she never used to do that.
And then I'll call it bad.
I used to go to a Sunday school on Sundays.
Okay.
I don't. That's the funny thing. I remember the Sunday school on Sundays, but under the guinea tree. But I don't remember the fan belt.
I'm not good in maths. I'm not good in maths at all. I'll explain that. You remember when we were in grade 6, we had a teacher who used to beat us every Friday, a maths and English test, and every Friday if you get a certain percentage, you gain a lot more, and less that kind of stuff. I just couldn't get maths because of you know what I'm talking about. Know exactly what I'm talking about. So, I mean, we used to get blows. We get blows for nonsense. And listen, I told a teacher when my daughters were going to effort school, I said, listen, you can beat my child for anything you want, but never ever hit the child because she's not learning something. When you beat you for learning, you can become fearful.
Yes.
You don't want to learn. People don't understand this. Dealing with people is a mental thing. It's not punishing and that kind of stuff. I mean, you punish a kid, put them in a corner to stand up, don't feed them. I told a lady, if a child being rude, don't feed him any breakfast or dinner at night. There's not me, man, starve me, child. I went to bed several times without eating stuff. Sometimes my mother did, sometimes there was nothing for me. And that's it. But we got to understand we're dealing with human beings. We can't punish people with death. That's not helping anybody. I wrote on my Facebook page just a while ago about Azard and Bin Laden. And had they keep those guys alive, somebody can really research on them right now and benefiting from whatever lie or not lie they tell. But we don't do that. We just, he kills somebody, kill him. Why are they killing? Have these people here, talk to them. You're talking about giving them food. You know how much information you can get from a murderer, especially he can dead tomorrow. He don't know end it. Come on, we need to think deeper than just killing. Killing ain't solving nothing. It's an easy way out.
Okay, a week then.
I'm done.
A week.
Huh?
A week. A week before we kill them. We're gonna get the information out in the week.
Jamster not studying you at all. At all. And I don't listen to you anymore. I'm gonna listen to the show and listen to our here. Okay? Because you know fully well. I'm studying. Let me ask you a question. Do you beat your daughter?
Sometimes.
Come on. I've been to your place. I never see you hit a child.
She letting Jamster out?
She know I don't play. That's for sure.
Well, that's the point. That is the point, Jamster. That's the point.
She know, Daddy don't take no mess.
All right, Jamster.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Wesley. Thanks again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Caller, I have another call here. Caller, go right ahead. Hey, what's up?
Yes, again.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with repeat offenders?
But repeat, not violent crimes. Just you mean maybe stealing and
There's
robbery.
even violent crimes.
I would like to think that the first time they commit a violent crime that they're put away and they don't get a chance to commit.
Violent crime, because there is people who commit murder, get out of prison, and come out and do the same thing.
But I see what she means. Let's say it's a stabbing. Maybe the person
What do you
didn't
do with
die,
them?
and maybe they go to jail for a year or 2 years. Whatever. I see her point.
Yeah, I've
that's
seen
the
where
question.
an old man, he was in jail for a long time in the US. He came out and he committed
Yes,
murder
like
again, and he
within
cut
the
the
same
lady
week?
up. Yeah, he cut the lady up. Yeah, it's like he was bloodthirsty soon as they allowed him to
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah.
It had up to, I think, a couple months ago, he had this guy that keep in New York that keep putting him in prison, in prison, and every time he go in, he come out, he go in, he come out. The last time he come out, what he did, he went and killed people. What do you do with them?
Oh, wow.
Have a good day, guys.
Yeah, you have a great day too.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. I wanted to, when I come back, talk about some lighter stuff. Netflix rates are going up. Maybe the Oscars and
Some people are
couple
still
other
waiting to
things.
get their call in, so I don't know how that's gonna go.
But yeah, we'll take the calls as well.
We can hope.
We can take the calls as well. 9:21. Let's take a quick break.
Found the sound 98.9 Win FM.
Hello, value taxpayers. Mark your calendars. The Business and Occupation Licenses Renewal kicks off on January 23, 2024. Visit the Inland Revenue Department to seamlessly pay and collect your licenses. The deadline for the renewal of business and occupation licenses is March 31, 2024. Renew on time to dodge a 10% late payment penalty, a $50 per day failure to renew on-time penalty, and a 1% monthly interest charge. Avoid unnecessary costs. Renew promptly. Inland Revenue Department, building our nation through responsible tax administration.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drugstore's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drugstore's curbside pickup service.
Island Tea continues. It's 9:23. I got my girl Kay here. What's up, Kay? You good?
I'm very good. I was just perusing through some stories. Oh, and I have a comment for you, Jamster.
Okay, go ahead.
I have one for you.
Mm-hmm. What did I do now?
You're in trouble. Somebody says you have Stockholm syndrome. I won't call their name.
Uh-huh.
And this person also says, I don't have any issues with the death penalty, but I'm wary of those that are blood hungry because I find society is too quick to get angry. There's a difference between passionate and aggressive, and our society is becoming very aggressive, too quick to react with hostility, and for persons like that to make or suggest what actions are to be taken, we will fall into anarchy. So yeah.
I don't get what point is that person trying to make? Maybe I'm passing it wrong in my head, but I'm not.
You
getting
mean the statement that I just read?
What
You
are
need
they
me to read
trying?
it
Yeah,
again?
what are they trying to say?
this person does not have an issue with the death penalty, but he is wary of those that are blood hungry because he finds that our society is too quick to get angry. There's a difference between passionate and aggressive, and our society is becoming very aggressive. Too quick to react with hostility, and for persons like that to make or suggest what actions are to be taken, we will fall into anarchy. So I guess the factor is saying take them out, firing squad, or once they're found guilty, a bullet to the head. That's being aggressive, and I guess
they don't listen to the citizenry anyway. So
says who?
Nothing we were saying here is gonna be taken into consideration. They're just gonna do what they want to do. So
okay.
So I'm just venting.
Venting, and let's hope that
and why
they
is
are
it,
listening.
Why is that person saying I have Stockholm syndrome? What's that about? You can read.
You
it.
have Stockholm syndrome for that teacher. Jams is suffering from Stockholm.
No, I don't think
for that teacher.
Miss Frederick, I never got licks from her. She was a.
So it's not.
I was one of her good students. So,
okay.
So
okay.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
I only remember the Sunday school sessions on Sunday, and then afterwards we'd go and get hot sugar cake in the coconut shell, and sometimes we get popcorn and frozen joy and all that stuff.
I see.
And sometimes my baby sister used to take us to the park to watch football.
Okay.
After the Sunday school.
Jamsa, did you see this recent post with this tourist that behaved bad in Sangster International? I'm wondering how she got her clothes off. I thought it was in the US, it's in Jamaica.
I thought it was a Jamaican. Oh, I saw the story.
It's Jamaica, yeah, Sangster International.
Yeah, but
it
was a tourist.
It was a tourist,
wow.
yeah. Apparently she and the person that she was leaving the island with got in a squabble. I am wondering where did she lose her clothes, because the only thing she didn't lose was her bra from the video I saw circulating.
Or maybe she just had some really good weed. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus. Jamsa, why you have to chop it up to weed?
I don't know. Maybe.
But she was just taken to the mental hospital for evaluation.
Oh, okay.
Why do they continue to do these things to us? Why? We would like our Caribbean destinations to be kept on the map for good reasons, not people coming to our shores and behaving a type of way.
I was told yesterday that in Jamaica, it appears as though they take their tourism dollars a lot more seriously, or they value it more than they do
Jamaican dollars.
Than they do the actual people. I was given a story yesterday where a Jamaican went back home to visit for he was staying at a hotel, and a criminal grabbed a vacationer's bag and ran with it, and the security guard who was working on the beach, he had a long gun. He just shot the guy. They killed him, and then they just took him away. So now I know I sound bloodthirsty when I talk about about being brutally practical about getting rid of violent criminals, but I really think that if that's the way the Jamaicans view their own people, where anything for the tourist dollar. I was told that the people that were staying at the hotel, they were actually Jamaicans. He was just returning home for vacation, and he actually left the next day because he was so
terrified.
No, he was so put off by the way the criminal was dealt with. Not even a cop, security guard with a long gun. Killed the guy on the spot, and they just took him away.
Maybe should have aimed for his feet.
No, but that's the thing. They say that's what they do. They just kill them. They don't. Wow. There's no in between. They just kill you because
you committed a crime.
But they value there's not even due process. They value the U.S. dollar more than they do their own downtrodden
the article we
people.
read the other day said that the Jamaican dollar isn't even recognized. U.S. is boss.
No, but the point I'm making is, you see what they value.
Yeah, understood clearly.
It's very sad. That's another call. 9:29. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes. Good morning.
Hey,
again.
what's up?
Did you guys see the video where a tourist that was on a ship in St. Kitts was saying that they were warned before they get off the ship to leave their valuables and be careful what they take off the ship because then St. Kitts is full of crime. I know we have gang murders. I didn't know we have where people snatch and pull tourist things. I've never heard that to that extent in our country. So I'm wondering what message now are these people giving these tourists when they come in about our country, because that don't sound good. That don't sound like a good message they're giving them.
Yeah.
I don't know us to be that type of a country where we rob tourists and grab their stuff and all those things. So do you think it's right for them to be telling the tourists that?
Well,
that we bad?
That's the question, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they tell the foreign students similar things about just being careful, when they go out and stuff. But some of the stuff that I've heard that they tell them is, I think, a little alarmist sometimes, based on because I actually heard firsthand from someone who they hired to actually give them that kind of
orientation.
Yes, that's what I was trying to remember. Who does the orientation pitch? And the person did tell me that sometimes some of the stuff that they have to say they think is a little alarmist. But I guess because of most of these people come from a very litigious society in the U.S. and Canada, where
But they have more crimes from whence
exactly.
they commit.
I agree.
We are small and we're not. The only thing St. Kitts has, and it is a big problem, is the murders.
Yeah.
I hardly hear.
Yeah.
We hardly hear about burglaries.
The wrong message.
Exactly, and
I
we
agree.
hardly hear about snatchings.
You don't have that.
I agree. They could find a more maybe a more elegant way to let them know that to be careful, because
just be careful in general
I
anywhere you
agree,
go.
yeah, exactly.
Because if we go to the US too, we have to be careful. We're not from there. Somebody might pick it up. We look different. Our accent is different. So anywhere you go, you have to be careful. But don't sell us short of what is not evident.
Yeah, because I actually I can't.
Exactly.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I have never really heard of the snatchings and stuff. In fact, I'll be honest.
I probably heard of it once, but it wasn't from. I don't think it was a tourist.
Yeah. Sometimes I see the tourists. They seem to like to walk around
all over.
Sometimes they're all walking up by Taylor's Range
all
and
over.
across George Street, and
because they're told that it's pretty safe to move. So I don't know where that propaganda. That propaganda came from. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. They shouldn't do that. They're trying to give us a bad name. And to the thing about Jamaica, I'm not surprised about the guard shooting the person that was trying to rob the tourist or whoever. Because number one, in Jamaica, if you go in and you do a crime, street justice is very prevalent down there. They'll do some rough street justice down there. So I'm not surprised.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We have another call. Thanks for that, Wayne. Island T, you're on.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Carl.
You see, really thing in Jamaica with the guard. That's how things supposed to be done. You see, nothing was done to the guard. They just take the body away.
Yes.
Hallelujah, amen. I'm gone, guys.
I thought I was harsh.
Oh boy,
because
Carl's very serious.
I don't quite. I don't quite like that stuff. That is very, very brutal, and it's almost as though the run of the mill Jamaican life is dispensable and basically an annoyance. I didn't when I heard that story yesterday, I didn't like it at all. I mean, you heard this guy was a Jamaican visiting for vacation and he left the next day, so he was basically was supposed to be there for long, and he left the next day because he just
couldn't believe.
And apparently the person was a former prison officer in Jamaica.
The security?
No, the person who
robbed?
No, the person who's staying at the hotel.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning.
Hey. Oh, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Lady.
Good morning.
Program, how everything?
Hey, good. To what do we owe the honor? Let me shut up and let you talk.
I just want to make a little input there on the death penalty, because Jam, some of my good friends, him as if he would like the death penalty to be carried out instantaneously. But it's very difficult to impose the death penalty on somebody and have that death penalty executed. Because first of all, the killing, the murder, would have to be one that they call the rarest of the rare or the worst of the worst. And if it doesn't fall into that category, is nowhere they would sentence somebody to the death penalty. And you have to ask yourself some certain questions. When the person's life was taken, did the person go through suffering? And if the answer is no, you cannot impose the death penalty so easily. If somebody's on a pasture, for instance, standing alone, and you put a bullet through that person's head and kill them at an instant, that is not a case for the death penalty, because you did not cause any suffering. He died instantly. You have to ask yourself, did he endanger anybody else's life in the process? And if that is not the case, it's not so easy to impose the death penalty.
But what about the suffering? What about the suffering of the bereaved and the family and the loved ones?
Well, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. If even after all of that, you feel that the person stands a good chance of being rehabilitated, then that they would reduce the probability of that person being sentenced to hang and being executed. So there are so many things. The standard is very high as to when you can actually execute someone. There was an incident, I think, was in either St. Vincent or St. Lucia, where they went to rob a farmer of some money, and they didn't meet him with any money, and they killed him. And even after he would have been killed, they took out his testicles and cut off his penis and all that other stuff. And not even that case was one that warranted the death penalty. Because as far as I'm concerned, despite the fact that you make him suffer such indignity, if you could put it that way, he was already dead. So whatever else you remove would not contribute to the consideration of bringing it within the worst of the worst. So it's a very high standard. You understand?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a very high standard, and it is not so easy to just execute somebody.
Well, I have some
and
choice.
You might have the wrong person. What do? You can't bring back somebody alive after you done execute the wrong person.
Yeah, but what?
There was a movement throughout the world to just done away with this death penalty. Done away. People spend years in prison and you realize you got the wrong person.
But is there nothing to be said for punishment? At least punishment that even begins to approach the gravity of.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean punishment that approaches.
And you said, yeah. But even if the incarceration is a good chance of you rehabilitating, that would reduce the chances of them even considering to execute you. It's tough, but you got to be the worst of the worst or the rarest of the rare. And not many things would qualify in that area.
Okay.
A single bullet to your head killing you might sound vicious, but that person doesn't fall under the category of it being the worst of the worst, because you didn't cause any suffering on the individual. He was killed instantly, and you did not risk the life, put anybody else's life in danger, because nobody else was there.
Wow.
But it's a good topic to be.
Yeah.
See, we put our emotions into things, but the law doesn't operate like that.
Mm-hmm.
The law doesn't operate like that. Now, don't care how vicious certain things sound. If you didn't cause the person any suffering, or didn't put anybody else's life at risk, and even after you done study all of that, or consider all of that, you have to make sure that the person is not a good rehabilitation candidate.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for your contribution, caller.
All right. Okay, great.
Okay.
And call more often.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So So we had that. Well, let's take a quick break. Hear from Rams, and then we come back. It's 9:39. I really wanted to talk about that Netflix thing.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. Rewarding your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
And we are back. It's 9:40, and let's take this call here. What this caller has to say. Island T, go right ahead.
Yes, greetings.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, greetings forward. Give thanks to that information, that very informative thing there, teacher. You don't know. There's a lot of things in the mix, you know. Whole heap of things.
Yes,
You know,
that definitely
really-
gives me things to think about. Yeah, that angle.
Beg pardon?
I was saying that angle that we just had on that last call gives me things to think about. Yeah, yeah.
There you go, you know. Give-
Helps tamp down my bloodthirstiness.
You hear me well?
Yeah, I am. We are.
Okay. Okay, we listen to that story about the shooting thing there in Jamaica. Let us bear in mind, you know, there is police, soldier, and security guards in Jamaica who is bad man and gunman, thief, and murderers. Yeah, let us be aware of that. They got your things, they do things before them put on them uniform there. You see me? So, and they say they have a saying that thieves don't like to see thieves with long bags. So let us put all these things within the mix as we discuss them things, them happenings there in Jamaica. It is a reality. And I want to say, not all of them, you know. Not all, definitely not. It couldn't be so. But there is a clique of bad man, gunman, murderers, thief, etc., etc. Got on uniform in Jamaica.
Yep.
Yeah? Give thanks for the time.
Okay, great. Okay, and so switching topics a little bit, little entertainment news. Now I know. I mean, you have Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not me, my
Yeah.
husband.
Okay. So Netflix is. I don't know if people know that they have an a tier with ads now. The $6.99 one that everyone used to pay for, it now has ads, but they're gonna be retiring the ad-free thing because it turns out that most people still sign up for the ad-free version.
Mm-hmm.
And I know most people here have the ad-free version. You know, when it started, I think it was $15 a month. So they are retiring it because they say, in spite of the fact that they have the ad-assisted tier, they weren't really getting a lot of sign. So people they're saying clearly people are not interested in having to wade through ads to see stuff they want to see. So, but there's also going to be rate hikes. So Netflix has said that they confirmed to shareholders that they are going to be retiring the ad-free basic plan, starting with the UK and Canada in Q2. That's probably going to be between March and June, and anybody on the $12 basic subscription plan will have to switch to another Netflix tier, and so prices are going to go up. So. Yep. You guys can expect to pay $15.49 for the standard tier and $23 for the premium tier. So I know this is something that a lot of people are probably people who pay for Netflix. So $23. That's what? That's like $59, $58, something like that. And
you mean our dollars?
yeah, our dollars. So and then $15.49 would be like $40, like $40 and change. So you want to keep net. The prices are going up, so that's something to think about.
They're gonna pay for it.
I think
Netflix and chill, according to most people.
Yeah.
I watched Netflix vigorously during the pandemic.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I watched out all the Flash series, the Arrow series.
Did you ever watch Black Mirror?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay. So yeah, and then there's some controversy. You know, the one of the biggest movies of 2023, the Barbie movie. There's some controversy because the female director, Greta Gerwig, she was not nominated for best director, and the picture was not nominated for best picture. And apparently Margot Robbie, who played Barbie, she was not nominated for best actress. And you know, some people, apparently Ryan Gosling, who played Ken, he was actually nominated, and he graciously said, well, there's no Ken without Barbie. So he's basically saying he's wondering how come he gets nominated. But then they were nominated in a bunch of other areas. So
but just not for best. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And apparently for the first time, there's a movie called American Fiction with Jeffrey Wright. Did you watch Westworld? Oh, no? Okay.
No, I'm not into deep movies. I'm into Marvel movies with fiction and stuff. I'm not into anything that's too deep. No.
Okay. No, but Jeffrey, it's Westworld was a sci-fi thing. You'd probably get into it if you saw it.
Sci-fi? I'm not a sci-fi girl.
So he's a black actor, and apparently this is the first time. The movie's called American Fiction. It's about, he's a writer who, he kind of tongue-in-cheek wrote a book highlighting all the stereotypes that white people expect of black people, and the book became a hit. So he was doing it just as a joke, and it turned out to be his biggest thing. So that's what the movie's about. And apparently this is the first time a movie has nominations for best actor and best supporting actor, and both of them are black. So
nice.
So Sterling,
so congratulations.
What's his name? Sterling. Oh God, I almost forgot the last name. Did you watch?
Can't help you.
Yeah. So Jeffrey Wright was nominated for Best Actor, and Sterling. I'm blanking right now. I just did that off the top of my head, so I can't. I'm forget. And I know his surname. It's just escaping me at the moment.
Escaping, yeah.
Yeah. So let me see. Oppenheimer.
Who's that?
Oppenheimer is a movie about the American scientist who was instrumental in the development of the nuclear bomb.
Okay.
Back in the 1930s. So they did a movie on it, and the movie did really well. The same guy who directed the Batman movies, the English guy. And did you see Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio? No. But you saw the Batman movies though. You must have liked. I mean, you like the Marvel and DC movies.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
The English director,
I'm sure
Christopher Nolan. He directed Oppenheimer, and it was basically based on a true story. And it was one of the best performing movies last year. And so it cleaned up with a whole bunch of. So he got nominated. I think Nolan got nominated for Best Director as well. So, yeah, it says here, Christopher Nolan's blockbuster biopic, Oppenheimer, which came in with a leading 13 nominations. You're really not into movies, huh?
I'm not into those types of movies. See, I'm listening intently
okay.
to get what you're saying, because if it's not Marvel and DC, no. As I said, I have my emotions as someone that takes in things. Like, even watching those guys from St. Lucia got their tails handed to them yesterday for the bad they did, it was creeping me out.
Yeah.
I had to get rid of it. It was creeping me out, yeah. So I don't watch deep movies because they do something to my psyche, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, and good morning.
Hey, what's
Good
up?
morning.
No, I remember that Estefan came on the radio, maybe it could be 4 weeks, a little over, talking about something about the death sentence and they shouldn't alleviate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of not for what he was saying, really. I believe that when people commit gun crimes and they commit the third one, they should have their index finger amputated.
Ooh.
That would send a clear warning to other potential gun users, and that would solve the problem because they can't go out and shoot so easily. And if they use the left hand and practice, they amputate the left finger, index finger. But what I really call is really to talk about something different. I just wanted to make that comment since you were talking so much about the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jamster and the lady there,
Yes.
during the last election that we had, how would you rate it? Did most of the public come out, the locals, or it was very scanty?
I would say most of the public came out.
Well, I mean, in your polling station, then, I mean, you had a good turnout because I keep hearing, and even in St. Peter's, very little came out. There was not a lot of people. I'm saying all of this to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the voters during the last election was from overseas. I recall a lady who was responsible for the St. Johnson's polling section, told her mother, because I was in the presence, that she said, "Mommy, very few people came out. It's like around 6 o'clock, this flux of people just came in." Most of the supporters that gave the Labour government brought into power was done mostly from overseas. A lot of locals didn't come up because of this lot of drama and things that were happening. So when Big Les came on and he talking about foot soldiers then had nothing to do with the last elections. It was the majority from the overseas people who came in. And that is one of the reasons I believe why a lot of flying out into New York and to the U.S. does happen, because they have to make sure that these people are properly briefed and give them support. So that a lot of, because I believe that in the next elections, you might have more locals coming out dependent, but they're going to, again, depend a lot on the overseas. If do your investigation, my lady, a lot of places on the island was very scanty.
Okay.
But you said in your area you had a good turnout, so that was good for you, I guess.
Yeah, because you were standing in a very long queue for a very long time. And people kept coming. People were sitting on the trees. Yeah. The turnout was very good. You rightfully said, at my polling station, I can't speak for the others around the island.
The other thing I'd like to comment on is this. And I said it before, but I'm being in a little bit more detail. Honestly, I'm not trying to get any props, but I voted for the constituency of number 8, the Labour constituency, right? I voted for him. But honestly, I didn't know how he was given the authority to head the Labour government. I just thought it was a good decision, but it's only after I heard. And shortly after, maybe about a week, 2 weeks after, this came into my mind. The Labour Prime Minister, the Honourable Prime Minister, challenged authority for power. And for however it happened, he was able to succeed, but he was put up to it. It wasn't his own doing this happen. He was put up to it, and he agreed with it. And the other thing that came to me is that he operated under a Luciferian spirit. Lucifer challenged God for power, and he was cast out. Therefore, he will always struggle to maintain his authority. And I'm not surprised. This ain't just coming out. This was said long before all this drama came out. But I told it to certain people, but he can always have problems. And when Rusty made the comment and he said that 2 things going to happen, either one, he's going to be demoted or he's going to be thrown out. That hit me directly because I knew that afterward this man going to struggle because he challenged his father for power, and he got it. And that was disrespectful. Because I remember when at a meeting, Prime Minister Douglas said that he and Terence just sat down at, I think, a place over Frigate, and they had a good talk, and he asked him why you want to be in this, and they had a good talk. I remember when he was endorsing him, and then he presented him, and he came out, and he was eloquent, he was direct, and he had the enthusiasm, he had the push, he had everything. But and I saw him to be a good candidate to replace Hamilton in it. But after I heard what he had done, my heart really turned from him. Not that I was supportive of Dr. Douglas, and I always said this, and I'm going to say it to you. If Dr. Douglas, being the eloquent and well-spoken man that he was, all he had to do was this, when the proposal came out to challenge him for power, he should just say simply, Dr. Drew, you have never won your seat in Constitution number 8. You ain't have no right to challenge me, sit down. And that would end it. But he never said that. Congress and Jeffrey would have been the only two that would have been acceptable to challenge him because they had won the seat. Now, Dr. Drew, they said he was cheated, but the fact is that he never won his seat. And he didn't have that kind of right to challenge him. But those who put him up would have to fight for him to stay there, and they can't do it. And
wait, you just said that Dr. Drew didn't win his seat? What?
Prior to
this
he
never won his seat.
He never won his seat prior to now, yeah.
Okay.
But no, I'm saying he never won his seat in his constituency, so he didn't have that right to challenge anything. Dr. Jeffrey Handley and Congress Maynard were the only one who had a right if any challenges was to be made, but not Dr. Drew. So I said that for that reason, but he was able to win. For that reason, he will have a struggle. The other thing I would like to say before I go, I think the former Prime Minister, the Team Unity, is a hero. Why? Because he brought the country back up from the corruption in terms of selling the land for debt swap, and he brought a lot. He brought the monies and the financial status to sink us back up. He did a lot of things wrong. Me saying he was good in what he did, because I believe if he had stayed true to his calling, and what he tried to do, which was bad in my opinion, he tried to mix religion with politics, and that's where his downfall came. If he had stayed true, because he wanted to be a man of God and still a politician, and those two can't work. Either be a politician and do the right things, or you're going to be a man of God and be clean. You can't do both. And that was the reason why I believe he fell. That was his reason. But I think he did well for the country. I think he brought the country back up. When Dr. Terence Drew went in, he gave a report. He said that the country was in a good financial backing. Good financial backing. He said that. Even though he said $20 million was missing from Development Bank and all this, he said the country was in a good financial backing. And me saying that, I'll let Timothy to run for power again and get back in. But I said he did good. He did a lot. He didn't do everything good, but he did good enough to bring the country up to a good scale, and he left it in a good running. So I think he deserves a little bit more respect, and that's my input.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution.
I actually like that point about mixing religion with politics, because I've always felt like sometimes politicians are forced to do a lot of. They're forced to pander and do a lot of things that they don't necessarily are not necessarily
want
sincere,
or intended to do.
Like
so
take
it's just
for example,
for face.
yeah,
It's
like,
just for face.
Like take for example, I'm not really a church goer, but if I was to run for politics, I'm not gonna start going to church more than I normally do. So take me or leave me. If you don't want to vote for me for that, that's fine. So I kind of agree with a lot of these politicians sometimes taking on this veneer of piety, like they're so God-fearing.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we all know that they're not so God-fearing when it comes to the treasury and so on. Anyway.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Island T, go right ahead.
Yeah, man. You see how that last caller, right? This man comments is different. You know what I mean? Sometimes we can't handle these type of different comments. The guy went really analytical on the inside. And this is all what he sees and what he feels. You know what I mean? Because a leader got to be strong, man. A leader got to be strong. And what I observed with Dr. Drew, with the big lights issue, it seems to me that he was pressured by other persons in the party to get rid of Big Life. And what happened, this man and Big Life had to be in close, because I saw him with Big Life and a lady, a picture with Big Life and the lady. I don't know if that was Big Life's wife, but if you and somebody has such a close relationship and that man is talking and giving positive critique, how you going to just come up and fire that person and get rid of that person? You know what I mean? That guy was very analytical, and I like the way how he broke it down. With me, looking at the big life issue from outside, he should have really deal with this in another way, because the man only spoke up. Big Lives only spoke up. You know what I mean? And if he was pressured by other people, that means that this man could be pressured by other people to commit a crime. You know what I mean? And that's the type of stuff that I look at sometimes. But you guys have a good day, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you too. We have like 1 minute. Let's see if we can squeeze in one more call. Caller. Okay, looks like that caller. So we're going to reserve the last minute for us.
Oh, wow.
I just want to say one thing. This issue of overseas voters playing outside roles and who gets elected, that's always going to be a thorny issue, and
all over the world.
Yeah, so I don't expect that to be addressed anytime soon around here because politicians, So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But they don't listen anyway, so.
Yeah.
You want to squeeze in one more?
We can.
You want to squeeze in one more call? Okay.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Alan T.
Alan T, be brief. Hey.
The caller said just stop. That the last one from the state. Right.
The previous.
The caller before.
Yes.
You know. And why you said to that?
Jam down, you're breaking in and out.
What's up with your seesaw phone, man?
What I will say to that caller, you hearing me now?
Yes.
Yeah, hearing you now, yeah.
Is that Timothy is a leader and he's a financier. He understands money. That's why he was successful. Joe he's scratching the barrel to run thinkers. Because neither he nor Douglas could do what him do, when he pick up this country. That's enough for that. We want to talk about the scandal and the media about Port Sante. That is a lie. We know that the cruise ship them does backtalk sink it. They tell them a lot of bad things when they come here. I don't know who behind it. But our tourism department, young people down there, they ain't understand tourism. So these things will go on and on and on and on because they don't challenge the cruise ship with the nonsense. They couldn't do that in Antigua. Bahamas was where they see the CEO from tourism, and it goes on and on. But darling, in the States, no robbing does happen down there. When me jam down, we like to see around Bastille. It's putting back the riders them on the road. But the commissioner them, they feel the nose all. They feel the nose all. And there are some people walking alongside them, They're just doing nothing but bringing them down.
Okay.
Have a good day, Jam.
Okay, have a great day.
And the sweet voice lady.
Okay.
Thank you for your comments. Jam down. Have a great day.
Okay, so 2 minutes after 10 o'clock, and me and the sweet voice lady are going to be departing the airways.
We are until tomorrow at 8. And tomorrow we have the Customs Department coming on.
Yeah.
So, folks.
And Enoite will be joining us tomorrow.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
I told him to make sure he's early this time because,
but
he didn't really get to weigh in last
But remember,
week.
Enoite has responsibilities that kind of start a little bit before 8.
Yeah, but he
has to drop his daughter off.
Yeah, he was saying, So he is going to come.
So we're going to forgive him if he's a tad late.
A tad late, yeah. So I hope you have a great day.
You too.
See you tomorrow. And Mishy's probably gonna be joining us tomorrow.
Yeah,
Right?
Mishy's Monday and Friday. So we're gonna have a nice hot
show. Yeah. Okay.
Indeed.
All right. Have a great day.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.